There's a part about becoming her that I feel like nobody talks about. And it's not the routines, it's not the glow up, it's not the habits, but it's that quiet realization that you've been living slightly disconnected from yourself. And it's not because you don't care or because you're not trying enough. It's because you learn how to survive before you learn how to be. Most women don't lose themselves overnight. It happens slowly. We become who we need to be to cope, to be accepted, to keep things moving. And this could be in different areas of our life. It could be at work, it could be in a relationship. We adapt, we perform, we get good at reading rooms. And one day you wake up and you realize that you've been functioning for a long time, but you aren't inhabiting your own life. And this is usually where the question starts, who am I? What do I actually want? Who do I want to be? And why do I feel so restless even though I'm doing all the right things? But here's something that I've learned over time. Becoming her isn't about creating a whole new personality. It's about returning back to who you are at your core, that woman that's always been there before you learn to edit yourself to fit into society's expectations. The woman that you're trying to create isn't louder, she's harder. She knows what it feels like to perform, and she's past that. She's clearer. She knows the difference between what feels like alignment and what feels like a performance. Real self-help isn't always productive. It can look like a number of things. It can be you sitting with yourself without distraction and having that quiet moment. I remember for a long time, I used to crave isolation. It sounds so weird, but not in a depressive way. I felt like I just needed an alone time, an alone season, alone year. I never had a timeline, but I always had this desperate need to pull back into myself and have quiet moments in my life. And now looking back, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why in your inner being, in your gut, you know that you need a season of isolation. And sometimes that's where the real growth happens, and that's where you catch up to that woman that you're always envisioning that you need to become. Another way that self-help is not as productive is noticing patterns without judging them. This was such a big one for me because I felt like I was quite self-critical in the past. And I know that a lot of women that I have spoken to. And the biggest way that I think, something that really helped me with looking back at my old self without cringing or judging myself, because, at every stage you do the best that you can with what you know. My brother used to say, I'll help you with my limited knowledge. That's such a profound thing that he said so easily. Honor every stage of yourself. And what really helped me with this was writing a letter to my past self and writing a letter from my past self. GPT will help you with this. I think it's really good with articulating things in a way that, kind of like calms you, because sometimes there's so much going on in my head, and I usually use the voice function, so I could just talk about everything that I've been through and some of the things that I feel like makes me cringe. And if I was to say goodbye to that version of myself so I can leap into this version of this woman that I want to become, how do I fully accept her? Self-acceptance, accept her, forgive her, let her communicate with me, but also I with her, and tell her that I'm proud of her, that she got me here, but now we need to go to the next level and she can't come with me. And it's just that healing relationship and self-talk. And sometimes you could even do this with a picture of yourself, your younger self, and do that healing exercise where you have a conversation with her. And I know that a lot of us, we've been through a lot, growing up, and there are some times where you wish there was a specific type of adult around you. Now it's your turn to be that adult and speak to her. Watch yourself evolve. And I think that that's how that self-acceptance exercise worked for me anyways. And I think that it could help you. And allowing your life to simplify before you expand it. And that's a big thing that I had to learn last year as well. I think that we often get so many things thrown at us in this life, and I don't want to call them distractions, and it could be so many beautiful ideas, and it's allowing yourself to know that in this moment, these are the things that I want to focus on, and also have a safe space where you keep all those other dreams and places that you want to explore, and know that it's for a later stage. Knowing when you're at capacity, knowing where you have priorities, things to focus on right now, and slowing things down and simplifying things. And in one of my previous videos, I talked about lowering the bar as well. I feel like sometimes we think we're gonna go from, bottom, ground zero to boom, to like floor 18. And because of that expectation, sometimes I feel like because it's so high, when we don't meet it, we beat ourselves up. But I think lowering the bar in terms of goals and achievements and building habits and taking it easy with yourself. Don't, bully yourself into, different things that you want to achieve. This is very common with like weight loss, for example. Love yourself into it. And I know that it's a process. Heal your relationship with food. Instead of that quick diet that you need to get skinny tomorrow, actually take the time to understand why you have that relationship with food. Build that relationship with food where it's kind of like, okay, I've eaten this portion, I've enjoyed it, I've experienced it. There's not much more to do. Like, it's okay to, that's enough, Monica. Have a conversation with yourself. Pause. I say all this to say that most times self-help isn't explosive productivity or dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. Most times it's subtle. And this is where everything changes. You stop chasing identity and you actually start embodying one. Becoming her is actually internal first. I feel like a lot of people think that confidence comes from validation, success, having everything figured out, being chosen. But confidence, I've found, actually comes from self-coherence. It's when how you think and how you live and how you start showing up start matching. That's when you feel so safe returning to your internal life. You're not abandoning yourself to belong. This is where something really settles within yourself. That's where you get that inner peace, inner self-acceptance, because you are, showing up as you are to your core. And you can go to bed at night knowing that you've not had a whole day of acting again. One of the biggest myths in self-help and self-development is that growth is loud and fast. I feel like this is because we're often seeing the end state, especially when someone gets famous. We don't see the millions of things that they've done before this very moment. But because we're seeing this moment, we think that boom, we should just blow up. But you don't know that person's story, that person's journey. This reminds me of one of the stories I heard recently on a podcast. I don't remember the details of it, but essentially it was an architect that just got hired into this company, and she had just pivoted, I believe, in careers as well. But they were in this meeting and everybody was arguing about what the logo should look like. And she grabbed a napkin and she drew a logo and she's like, here's your logo. And they were stunned as to how she came up with this in, a minute. And she's like, well, I did this in a minute and 34 years. And that's because your experience and all the things that you've had till this moment, even if it's a career pivot, even if it's a new journey, it still counts for something. That's how your skills should be. It should be something that's transferable. And I did a video on my TikTok recently where I was talking about how people are uncopyable, because your life is a cocktail of, experiences that nobody else has. And that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. So this is such a unique individual journey, and everyone's looks different and everyone's story can inspire different people. That's the whole point. So I think that because we see people from the end state, we often strive to have this explosive approach to growth, as opposed to something that's quiet and steady, and it's something that happens when we're consistent and we show up as ourselves every single day. Growth is often consistency instead of intensity, it's clarity instead of chaos, and it's depth instead of distraction. You don't wake up one day and you're done. And I think that's another approach where we always wait to feel a certain level of perfect before we do something. You're never going to be done. But that confidence is curated through how you show up every day for that thing that you say you want. Just like content, for instance. Keeping those promises to yourself is proof that you can do it, but also showing up is how you grow that confidence, and it's proof that you can do it. We've all heard the 1% better every day, but just make sure that you're growing every day, and that really does compound into that end state woman that you've always wanted to be. This is for any woman watching. If you feel like you're in a season of recalibration where things feel slower, quieter, and introspective, you're not stuck. You're in your season of rerouting, because, becoming her isn't about impressing the world. It's about building a life that you can actually live inside of. If this video feels slower than most of the things that you watch, it's intentional, because the woman that you're becoming doesn't need noise. She needs truth, time, and a space to unfold. So if you're here, it tells me that you're already listening to yourself again. Till next time.